Warrington Wigan. Always sets the pulse races. They're racing. They've had their opening two fixtures both won. They've cruised to victory in their first two home games of the year of Wigan. This match, though, is setting them problems they haven't faced in 2010 yet, and they have a major problem because they've got to come from behind in the second half, which gets underway now with the boot of Lee Briers. Well, this could go on all night for me, Steve. I've loved every minute of it.
So have I, Eddie.
Oh, there's a first mistake from Wigan. A big hit by Solomona.
Well, they didn't need that.
Lee Mossop.
That was sensational. Oh, super stuff. Simon Griggs, I think it was, that helped out the big fella Solomona. Michael Maguire not impressed, but that was one big hit.
So a glorious opportunity for Warrington start of this second half. Here is Atkins driving the ball in towards those Wigan posts. They scored just before half-time. Can they add to it right at the start of the second half? Monaghan. Here is Myler, and he comes back this way. That's good defence, though, from the man who came up with the error. And Monaghan again.
That's a big question. Can they stop this fella that's playing the ball now? Michael Monaghan was superb that first 40 minutes.
Briers to Mathers. Mathers to Bridge. Oh, it's through Carmont. Reinforcements arrive. They stop him right on the line. Mathers had an awful time at Wigan in his short career there. He was the man at the play the ball, but this is Paul Wood. Last tackle here for Warrington.
Will they go for the kick? They've got Solomona out wide. They might go for the power play. No, it's a kick.
Kick to the in goal. It's bounced everywhere. The referee will have a look at this because Briers has touched the ball down. But it looked, and the way that Briers is not celebrating, it looks as though it was a knock-on.
Well, Solomona gets to it. He's onside. That's fine. Now, does he get a fingertip to it? I thought he did. At full speed, we'll see it a lot better, of course, when we slow things down. Yeah, I think he gets a fingertip to it slightly. Well, it's been a busy night for Phil Bentham, the video referee. I think it just touches it there. Yeah. Just got the little fingertips to it.
Or was it Deacon, Steve-O, who gets the hand?
No, I think it's Solomona's left hand just at that point there.
Yeah.
The Warrington players, they're lining up for a tap.
Well, that is great relief for the Warriors, because I just had the impression that if they would have been given this try, we still don't know yet. Phil Bentham has to make sure, but if they'd have squeezed that in so early, I think the Warriors would have lost this game easy.
The turnover, it was on the last, and so it'll go back on the 10-metre line because it was in goal.
I like what Lee Mossop did in that set of six. He made 3 of the 6 tackles. It was him that made the mistake from the kick-off. And rather than sitting and going into his shell and looking for somewhere to hide, looking for the long grass, he put his hands up and he made 3 of those 6 tackles.
Turnover on the 10-metre line because the knock-on actually happened in the field of play. Whatever, Wigan and this man, Mossop, will have breathed a big sigh of relief.
Oh, there's a problem for Monaghan. He looks shaken there. They've got a medical man out there for him straight away. Oh, but he's getting himself back into the line. He seems to be okay. He shirked it off.
Yeah, and there was a thumbs up from the physio. Here is Tompkins. Sam Tompkins, who's been quiet tonight.
Yeah, I was just making the point that he's got to inject himself a little bit more, but this is the area that they've got to improve. That's a kicking game, and that's better.
Good kick from Paul Deacon, that.
Michael Maguire would have emphasised at the half-time break, look, we played most of that first half in our own half, can't afford to do that. Got to get up there, make sure you apply the pressure. There's only a few occasions, and remember the try that Wigan did score in the first half actually started in their own half.
Paul Deacon making his first start tonight for Wigan. He has been used off the bench by Michael Maguire previously. A man of vast experience, of course. And he got 4 goals and a drop goal in the Bulls win here last year. Bradford winning 21-20. That was in June. St Helens 24-8 up at the Catalan Dragons. I can tell you that the Catalan Dragons have had a man sent off for the 2nd week in a row. It was David Ferriol last week. It's Olivier Elima this week. So they're playing for the remainder of that game with 12 men on the field, and St Helens looking though they're going to take full advantage of that. Straight down to Bill.
Eddie, poor old Lee Mossop, his must have been burning at the start of this second half, because Michael Maguire's parting words of the dressing room at half-time were about the errors. That look forward from Solomona to Myler it was, and that was the main concern from the Wigan Warriors coach, the errors they've been coming up with, and also the discipline, the field position they've been giving the Warrington Wolves, and the intention is to cut that out and take the game to the Wolves.
Well, they have a chance here from this scrum. They're going to get the feed.
It's funny, you know, when your team are 12 points behind in a rugby game, that all the fans are thinking about how can we score, how can we catch up, but I think that the team themselves need to focus on the defence. That's exactly what they've done there. They've compressed and contained Warrington. They've come up with possession at the right side of the field, and your focus, even when you're behind with so long left in the match, has to be to have a higher defensive standard.
Just on that previous play, lads, you've got Solomona getting his right arm through. Lee Breer's giving a penalty, some field position away. Just trying to wrestle that player. Just a little bit too slow for the referee. I was going to make the point. Solomona getting his arm free and finding Richie Myler, and you'll see that more and more in Super League 15.
Here goes Harrison Hansen. He's through the initial challenge of Monaghan. 10 metres away, Wigan. With Luluai, here's Tompkins. Now it's brother Joel. No, it's not, it's Paul Prescott. My apologies. This is another penalty, though, for Wigan.
Well, Wigan needs someone to stand up and really start taking shape into this match. And the man that's tapping it there, Thomas Luluai, he's got to play the sort of game that we saw in the first half from Michael Monaghan. He controlled everything in the first 40.
Luluai dummy half for Wigan. Back it comes to Deacon. Deacon then gives it to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin to Roberts. That's an awful ball. Well, he's not that tall.
That just goes to show how good Mathers and Bridges' pass were in the first half, that part of the field, Eddie, when they had the ability to quickly transfer it through hands to Riley on the right wing.
Chance gone for Wigan.
And again, the opportunity to apply that pressure, they failed to do that.
Despite their awful record on this ground. Was that Matt King? Anyway, despite their awful record on this ground, Wigan have won 23 of 35 against Warrington in the Super League. But they've lost 8 times on the travels here since '96. The 16-8 defeat last year, which is close to what we've got tonight.
I've been impressed with the way that Warrington are looking to get the offload as well. And I've also been impressed by Richard Silverwood's ability to keep this game moving.
Down in the Warrington crowd are, listen, the boos they're giving the referee. As Solomona trundles it forward, bounces up one, spins away from the next, but can't get away from the 3 men who come in and put him down eventually. Last tackle for Warrington. And that's Richie Myler with the kick, which will be run back here. Great chase again by Warrington from the kick. There was no room for Amos Roberts to even think then. Great tackling.
And that will be pleasing the Warrington coach Tony Smith, with the fact that, you know, some of these mistakes are being forced because of the impact of the tackle.
Pearson goes down again under challenge from Ryan Atkins.
Ryan Atkins picked out Gleeson there, and another one, Ben Westwood. The Angels lifted a couple of notches now.
No way forward for Fielden. St Helens putting the Dragons to the sword. Little dink over the top was intended for Pat Richards, picked up by Riley. Bill.
Eddie, Michael Monaghan just come off for the Warrington Wolves, and some concern from the Wolves supporters that it might go back to that knock he received at the start of the second half, but he's okay. He's got back slaps all round from the other guys who are on the bench at the moment, Gareth Carvell included, recognising the effort that he's put in so far, and no doubt will be back to put in later on as well.
What a ball from Solomona. Myler, oh, he gave it away straight to Joel Tompkins.
Oh, a golden opportunity wasted there. The reason why Tony Smith said we'll take David Solomona has just been shown there. Super. He had 4 of the defenders around him, still got rid of it.
Myler's going to get so many rewards through pushing in that next goal off David Solomoni. He actually passed the ball around the Wigan defender.
Here's Deacon. Back it comes to Roberts, hitting that ball at pace. But Warrington stand firm. Mickey Hyam and Richie Myler. Now it's with Coley again, and the prop forward with Trundle it forward. Last one for Wigan. Roberts quickly in at acting half-back. Great defence. Ben Harrison. Mickey Hyam seeing to it there was no way forward.
But the thing is, Michael Maguire will be furious at that. In this half, they have not applied that pressure with a kick to turn this Warrington defence around, and to run like that on your own from the dummy half position on the last tackle is suicide.
Here goes Matt King. Another ferocious challenge on him. Hyam is waiting at dummy half. Finds Ben Harrison. Big things tip for this fella.
Oh, he's a lump of a lad. He's got a great future.
Westwood offloads. Ball is touched. That was touched. How on earth did he come up with it?
Should have been a penalty, shouldn't it? Should have been the ball forward, yes.
Mickey Hyam's done well not to pick this ball up. He's looking at it.
Yeah, but it's touched his knee. Didn't have to pick it up, it touched his knee.
Here's a penalty now for Warrington. Wigan's frustration mounts.
There it is. And it definitely comes off his knee. Could it been classified as a knock-on by a Wigan player first? Either way, it's play on, more pressure. This is what Warrington do. Wigan have failed to do it tonight.
Well, the Wigan player touched it first, and then it was accidental offside against the Warrington man. Mickey Hyam, who is on the ball now, gives it to Breers, and Breers tries to drift inside, and then he's scragged to the ground. Heavy challenge by Coley. Breers picks himself up, and he's limping badly as Breers. This, meanwhile, is Myler. He applies the air brakes, comes back the other way, gets it off to Hyam. They're loaded up here down the right-hand side. Hyam couldn't get the ball away to them.
They're running them ragged. Turn in the tackle. That's confidence for you.
Breers, bullet pass. Oh, Briggs this time threw it behind Riley.
I think you'll find that Chris Riley just creeps forward. Just enough. Disappointment by Tony Smith, but he'll be happy with the build-up.
Lee Breer's a problem.
It'll be a sad blow as well if they lose this fella, but I must say, the way that Warrington are controlling things, always in a lot of trouble.
Breers is he's in a bit of strife, and talking about players being in a bit of strife, you will all remember, if you were with us last night, that the young winger for Castleford, Richard Owen, picked up a broken leg, and all of us on Sky Sports, Richard, I'm sure you're watching it either in your hospital bed tonight or at home. We all wish you a very speedy recovery. One of the best youngsters in the business, Richard Owen of the Castleford Tigers. Let's hope that he's okay and back soon. And I think there's a major problem developing here for Lee Breers.
Oh, and like last night, it'd be a bitter blow to lose the quality of Owen for Castleford, and then
Hansen and Coley all over him, and he felt it, didn't he, Breers? When he gets to his feet,
it's on the shin, isn't it?
Managed to put all his weight on it to play the ball.
That's how tough rugby league plays out. He gets up, plays his ball, drops to the floor. He's in agony. Just watch this. Twists there. It's his left leg. It could be his ankle or his knee.
Could be anything on that leg, couldn't it?
Gets up, plays his ball, and he doesn't want to get on the stretcher. He wants to make his way off the pitch, although they're carrying him now.
Well, wouldn't it be wise to put him on the stretcher?
Exactly. Why would you risk further damage? Well, that's a blow, and they've got Monaghan off the field as well.
I think you'll find he'll soon come back on, though. Tony Smith realises the quality of Michael Monaghan, and the way, especially the way that he controlled it in that first half. I would not be leaving him on the subs bench, that's for sure. But again, like we saw in the first half, Wigan just can't get to the opposition red zone, getting nowhere near it, and it's brought about by this solid Warrington defence.
I think we made the point in the first half, didn't we, that Warrington have traditionally been a side that can score fantastic tries, but the big difference in them over the past 12 months or so has been their tackling and their defence. They must have worked so hard on the training field about all this.
Yeah, they have. And it's brought a new dimension to them, and that was that defence.
That's a great kick from Deacon, right underneath the Warrington sticks. King will run it back.
Now, the big question that coach Michael Maguire will be asking, can we stop this Warrington side getting anywhere near the halfway line? It's often like a game of chess, put your opposition into confusion.
Here is Paul Wood. Wigan hunting the mistake in Warrington territory. Monaghan is off the field. Breers is also off the field. The major puppeteers for Warrington. Penalty here that will relieve the pressure. Michael Maguire will be furious with this penalty count.
Well, Lenny, if you look at the game last week, Wigan put more three-men tackles than many other sides. There's three went into that tackle. I think they're trying to control the speed and slowing it down. Most tackles in Rugby League are taken by two defenders, but we saw three go in there as Ben Harrison just had some strapping on his right arm.
Yes, walking wounded at the moment. Here's Carvel.
And Warrington will just concentrate on getting in a good position. Like they did in the first half, they'll just camp down there. They've got the quality to split them.
Wood gets to his feet, plays it to Hyam. Here is Myler. Now it's Westwood. Wigan surrounding the man, carrying the ball again, three of them. This time they quickly peel away. Hyam and Wood. Mathers. Inching towards the Wigan posts. The Warrington Wolves. It's Grix. And Grix gets them into a great position on the last tackle. And here is Carvel. Back it comes to Myler. A kick wide. And that's, I'm afraid, too easy for a man of Pat Richards' calibre. Oh, and Pat Richards trying to get them to restart it quickly and threw it to everybody, nobody.
Yeah, amazing. He caught it with two hands, a la Australian rules style, and then just blew the opportunity again in a few extra metres forward.
Referee shouted at Paul Wood. He said he's not standing square, keep away, and he didn't. So this time Wigan get a relieving penalty.
Yeah, a little bit too quick out the blocks, wasn't he?
Last away win at Warrington, 2003 at Wilderspool. Mike Gregory was in charge of Wigan at that time, and he's actually in charge for the first time, and they won by 18 points to 16. And of course, how ironic that it was Mike Gregory who got the last away win at Warrington. There is now a road just around the back of the stadium that is named after him. Mike Gregory Way. Hansen drives it in for Wigan. Deacon waits. Deacon attacks the Warrington line. Here is Luluai. And the change here for Roberts. And Roberts is in. But the referee will hand it upstairs to Phil Bentham. Oh, there are suggestions.
Martin Gleeson has on that play.
I was going to say...
Was he short, Eddie? That's a big question.
Well, he's asking what effect Martin Gleeson has on this play. Is he not looking at the grounding then? I just wonder whether there's a question mark about double movement.
He's looking at Gleeson, the top of your screen there.
It was a nice step, though, by Roberts. He went right past Griggs.
Does he put Matt King off at this point?
We'll have to wait and see.
You can't disallow for that, can you? For a player supporting his colleague, can you?
Well, he's
we'll
acting as
have
a
to
blocker. He's like an American football blocker, Eddie, but I don't think he is. Well, you were the judge.
Now, but is he short? He's short to start with, but does he roll forward? Now, there's a Warrington leg comes right across where the ball is just about to get onto the goal line. You see it better here. I think it's a leg from King, isn't it?
Maybe it's this involvement by Gleeson there. Maybe that's the bit that the referee is concerned.
Yeah, he's blocking Matt King.
Is he doing it on purpose, Phil? I'm not sure he is.
Well,
He's up in support there, that's what he's doing. He's up in support. They're both running the same way.
And he's not looking at King, is he?
No, he isn't. No, that's a try for me.
But has he got it down? That's the main thing. He certainly slides over, and I think King's left leg gets in front. Now, does he prevent it? No, it's not King, it's Mathers.
Try is there, the ball is down, but is it going to be given?
Is it short? I'm not so sure to see it streaks the line.
That's the best angle, because I think on there, it looks as though King's taken out by Gleeson.
He isn't, Phil. I think what we're looking at is whether this ball bobbles.
No, he gets it down.
That's the try. The two players running in the same direction that collide.
Well, Amos Roberts will be keeping his fingers crossed that he's got 2 tries in a match for the 3rd game in a row. And Phil Bentham says he has. Somebody doesn't agree. Amos Roberts, now 6 tries in the season for him. He's just 1 behind Chris Riley now, who of course has scored in this game and had 6 coming into this. And Wigan are suddenly alive, and there's no coincidence that Breers and Monaghan are off the field.
And this has been the first time in the second half that they've put together a string of passes out wide. And Roberts did exceptionally well. They had plenty of company there. It was very close. Mr. Smith doesn't agree. They do.
Hope springs eternal for Wigan then. Amos Roberts' try. And that's the angle and the distance that Pat Richards has. Now then, he missed with his only other kick in the first half. And he's missed with that one. One of the most regular goal kickers, reliable goal kickers. And Pat Richards misses. Roberts, his try.
That could be a vital miss as well, and Michael Maguire, the Wigan coach, will be fully aware of that. Tony Smith will be somewhat relieved. Now, will it wake up the Warriors? We'll have to wait and see. Remember, they came up with an error from the kick-off at the half-time, but they've done it this time. Fielder takes it up.
Let's get down to Bill.
Lee Breers has just reappeared from the Warrington Wolves dressing room, having been taken there by the club doctor for examination of an ankle injury. Left ankle is the problem, heavily iced as he's just come out. Certainly doesn't look as though he's going to be able to come back out there. Michael Monaghan is back out on the field for the Warrington Wolves, and even more pressure on his shoulders now in the really what is going to be a rip-roaring last quarter of this game.
Well, Matt King came up with a fantastic tackle and then ruined it by going back for a second effort as Wigan tried to play the ball quickly. The penalty count has levelled up. Great tackle. Let him get up and play it. No penalty.
Went over the tech, and there was nothing that the official could do but otherwise than give the penalty. Well, are there a touch of nerves coming into this Warrington side? Wigan, well, they were being forced into just one-out football, and the first time they got it out wide, they scored, courtesy of Amos Roberts.
Breers with the ankle heavily iced. Deacon, back it goes to Tompkins. There's the pass to Lulawai, short ball then. Oh, an offload to Roberts, who's on the hat-trick. Remember Amos Roberts? He's on the hat-trick, this fellow! He's in! Roberts! Oh, it's another decision for the video referee. Has Goulding got over? Is it Darryl Goulding over there?
Well, the first offload's by Bailey. That's popped out the back to Roberts, and I think right in the far corner at the last moment.
Does he get rid of it?
He does, don't worry about that, and it's a neat pass.
Gleeson's hanging around again.
Superb, that's a try.
Beautiful pass.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful play. We saw it, didn't we? When we saw the pass from Chris Briggs that put Riley in exactly the same corner.
I think he's shot there at first, you know, but it rolls over.
He's got full control. This is turning into a thriller.
You have to wonder why he's tried to put that ball down short, unless he thought he was going to get off-putting touch.
Tries given to Daryl Goulding. Roberts, who was on a hat-trick, and he just flicked it at the last minute. I missed it. The Warrington defence missed it. Daryl Goulding, on his first start in the Super League 2010, comes up with a try that's got Wigan well and truly back in the hunt, but Richards has got to kick the goal.
I'm not surprised that nobody saw this, because it was wonderful work by the full-back. Nice offload. And you can see there, they just relaxed slightly. Uh-oh. It's one, and he goes in. I thought he'd absolutely ruined it. What a pass. What a finish. It's a roly-poly, but it counts. Is he happy? I reckon you'd have to say yes.
Well, Richards, he hasn't kicked a goal yet tonight, and this is the most difficult, right on the touchline. When he needs to, he comes up with the goods. 16-14, and there's still bags of time. Daryl Goulding's try. And suddenly Warrington supporters have got the glum faces.
Surely he's back, is he?
Oh yes, he's been out for a wee while, Steve-O.
No, I never noticed him. He hasn't had the possession of football because it's all been Wigan, hasn't it? They need this ball badly.
And there's still 20 minutes remaining. Oh, Carmont's away! Carmont's away! Mather stands his ground. Just delays the play of the ball briefly. Awful ball from Deacon. Tompkins had to stretch.
Boy, he nearly lost it as well. Great run from Carmont. Warrington need this possession. They've got to calm things down. They're running riot. What was a wonderful, strong defence. Now it looks a bit weak.
It's Hansen who's gone through one tackle. Great tackle by Myler, though. Helped out by Mathers. Last one for Wigan. Here is Tompkins. Going for it himself. Held up short. That's the turnover.
Not a bad option, because they know that they're going to get their defensive line sorted out. He'd be happy with that, Michael Maguire. Of course, he'd have been smiling if he'd have gone over. If young Sam Tompkins could have sneaked, full credit to the Warrington defence, though. They were out on their feet, but they got back in numbers. They got back.
Petrol gauge is running on empty at the minute for Warrington.
These are tough carries away from your own line. You know that the defensive line of Wigan is set. You know that you've got to put that ball under your arm. You're going to get whacked as soon as you get near the line. This is where men are men.
It's where composure comes into it now. Wigan can't afford to give away a penalty. Warrington can't afford to come up with an error.
Mathers for Warrington. He
Will
goes
they kick
down on
it?
the last.
Will they kick it now? They've got to. What's the chase going to be like?
Myler with the kick. Oh, and it's straight into the arms of Roberts. Oh. Myler's come up with the ball.
He's a magician. Myler has turned into a magician. He didn't come up with a rabbit.
Offside. Wigan offside.
Do you go for two? They haven't had possession.
Look at that, Steve. It's a very special skill. Gavin Clinch, Gary Connolly, two players from yesteryear who are experts at that. That's a good tool to have in your tool bag.
This is the 20th game of Super League 15. It is the best by a mile. Listen, the Warrington crowd. Carvel. Gareth Carvel. Oh, to the ground. Myler picks it up. And O'Loughlin picks up Myler.
Well, I didn't need to panic there.
Here comes Grix. Wigan just slowing them down. Morley. Dreadful tackle. He's round the neck.
Bailey went right into his face. That should have been a penalty.
Oh, he put the ball down.
Oh. No advantage.
Louis Anderson hit the ball at pace. Just couldn't take it in.
Well, both these sides, and it is nail-biting. Got to take gloves off first, darling, but I must say, Eddie, this is the type of thing that applies the pressure where the great players And if they can come through this, they know that both these sides are in for a good season.
Coley, great strong run from him, carrying 3 players about 10 metres forward. That was...
It was high from Atkins.
It's offside, as he
It was high.
I think you're right, I think it was, but he's never got back to 10. I think it was also high, but Atkins was about 5 metres offside there.
Well, I mentioned the composure, and that's what you've got to have. I mean, it's red hot out there.
Fielden. Looks a different player this year, doesn't he, Fielden?
He's got through a lot of work.
Here's a Lachlan. Oh, nearly through.
Quite a few of the Warrington players, they're going a little bit too high.
Coley.
That's
Harrison
better.
stood his ground. It's Luluai. It's a short pass. Is that Joel Tompkins? Deacon. Luluai. Oof, just short. Last tackle here for Wigan. Deacon a dummy half. Back it comes, not the best. Roberts. Amos Roberts puts the ball in the air. Carmont's after it. Mavericks comes up with the possession for Warrington.
Superb play by the fullback. Concentration all the time.
Bailey takes Riley out. Oh dear. It's Richards for Wigan.
Oh, was that a swinging arm from Bridge?
Yes, it was.
I think it might have been, not seen by the officials.
Pat Richards just poked him in the chest 2 times before that, though, Steve-O. Possibly retaliation there.
High shot. Penalty, Wigan under the sticks.
They've got to take the 2, surely.
Well, they're just starting to get a bit rattled, Warrington.
I made the point that they were going far too high, not many players going low. Isn't it amazing how it can just change? Why on earth would you go for a little switch pass there? Barry was saying that he poked him in the chest, you're allowed to do that.
I need to think about my next statement before I antagonise coaches.
Barry would have poked him in the eye, you know what he's like. Would have given the right thought they were.
Pat Richards was challenging Chris Bridge to get him on the floor. I think that was the point I was making. And Chris
Since
Bridge
Frears has left the field, the game has turned on its head. It's upside down for Warrington.
They probably lose not just the play, but they probably lose the vocal cords of the side. It's hard when we watch on sport to know who's actually making the direction of the team, who's doing the talking, even if they aren't doing the passing, the kicking or the running. And I suspect that Lee Breers has a huge influence on the Wolves when he is on the field. They've looked slightly leaderless in the last 10 minutes.
Richards kicks his first goal of the night, and at a very opportune moment because it's 16 all. Oh, he kicked the conversion from the touchline, didn't he? I forgot that one.
Anyone all excited, don't worry about it.
Get the tablets out, for
Don't
goodness
worry.
sake.
Listen, you've turned 60, it happens to everyone all. It really does. This is so tense. Now you know why we love this game.
Why, because we can't remember people kicking goals.
Too true.
Well, how long have we got left? 13 minutes. When's the first call coming for the one-pointer? And who's off the field? The expert of the one-point? Lee Breers, of course. He's on the bench and out of it.
Paul Deacon's a very good drop goal and good shot, Adrian Morley again.
Tompkins, oh, little dink over the top. It bounces perfectly. It's Luluai, and it goes wide, and it's Joel Tompkins. And Joel Tompkins scores for Wigan. Sam Tompkins has had a quiet match, but in that blink of an eye, Sam Tompkins could have just turned this game Wigan's way. He saw that there was space behind the Warrington defence. It was a perfect chip. Flooded forward, and Sam on to Luluai, on to brother Joel, And Joel Tompkins, who normally plays second fiddle to his younger brother, has come up with a remarkable score. Look at that. Brilliant.
As Eddie has mentioned, he's been quiet all night. But the first real opportunity, he kept his nerve. He had the wherewithal. He says there's nobody at home. He got the bounce. Back on the inside. Luluai, not being greedy. The second rower, Joel Tompkins. The elation all over this ground if you're a Wigan fan and you happen to be Michael Maguire. They may be laughing, there's still plenty of time to go. But surely Pat Richards is in a good position to convert this.
With his third successful kick of the night.
I think that's a reward too for Joel Tompkins, who for the last 4 months has pushed his body to limits he didn't really believe possible. He's made himself as fit and strong as he possibly could be, and to be in that position, having done the work he's done in this game with 70 minutes or so gone, is an amazing effort. Has he missed the kick? In off the upright.
In off, 18 points without reply. Wigan have scored now in this second half. It has turned on its head, this game. 22-16.
Well, a hoodoo at this ground, is it going to be broken?
Joel Tompkins, when Luluai gave him the ball, if you just look at him, he must have thought, what on earth has he given me this for?
Hey, give him great praise for putting himself in that position.
Absolutely.
And also the calm, cool collectedness of Thomas Luluai.
I think he thought Luluai was in.
Yeah.
Well, I think rugby league's not about being fast. It's speed endurance, isn't it? It's being fast again and again and again. And when you need to be, being in the right position, which Joel Tompkins has just demonstrated.
Well, they've had an absolutely purple patch for 13 minutes. And I think Lee Breers has been off the field about 13 minutes.
Well, it could be a coincidence, but they may need him again. Don't write Warrington off.
I was just going to say that, Steve. I still think there's points in this game. I still see the lead changing hands.
Richards brilliantly, and great tackle, Myler. The turnover. Richards plucked that ball out of the arms of Riley. But what a tackle from Myler. Oh,
Sensational from both sides. Quality from two youngsters. First, Sam Tompkins. And then Myler comes up.
He just needs a spark, Sam Tompkins, doesn't he? Just needs something. And Myler, that was a great tackle. Two of the bright young things that we've got in this game.
Coaches talk about the X factor, they talk about that something special, they talk about maverick players with two of the most exciting mavericks in rugby league in Tompkins and Myler. And the more education, the more experience they can get, the better.
And don't forget Kyle Eastman, of course, who's in action tonight in the south of France with St Helens. That's a 40-20 attempt here by Monaghan. He's got it!
Sensational kick.
And Warrington are racing to this scrum. What a kick from Monaghan.
He was sensational in the first half. He's come back, and in these final 10 minutes, he could turn it around again. And I must say, the way that both these sides have given everything, maybe a draw is a fair result.
And I tell you what, Monaghan isn't 100% fit either, by the way. Digging deep on his reserves is Michael Monaghan.
Well, if I was a Wigan player, I'd be worried about David Solomona in the next 60 seconds.
For the moment, they'll worry about Bridge. Oh, Bridge loses it. What an error on the first tackle, or should we give credit to the hit?
I'd be calling clashed edge, yeah, he clashed edge with Chris Bridge. Real strong challenge. Look at it there and dislodged the ball, and there was an arm in there as well.
And it went backwards off Coley.
Well, this is amazing. This is amazing. I'm with you, Barry. Anything can happen in this game. It looked as though it was all over, didn't it? Until Richie Myler came up with that tackle.
Wigan now come up with a blunder.
All they needed to do was just calm things down. He knows it is Michael Maguire. Tony Smith, we're getting the message out now. It wasn't the best pass from Deacon. It was a little lob pass up onto the shoulder.
Another sellout inside the Halliwell-Jones Stadium tonight. Over 13,000 in here. As I say, about 3 hours before the kick-off, they were announcing to people who were waiting outside, if you haven't got a ticket, go home. Penalty to Warrington now. They'll kick this, surely.
No, kicking in the corner, won't they?
Oh, they're running it. I thought they might have just taken the two then and come and won it late on.
No, they've got to camp down there. They've got to make sure that they get them into a position, if they do score, it's quite near to the post, so they can tie it all up.
Hyam trying to haunt his former club. He's injured, Hyam, as he knows. They're all over him, trying to slow him down. Morley, back he comes to Monaghan. There's the pass to Mathers. Here's a try for Anderson. Anderson is in. Kick to come to settle the Warrington nerves and get them back level. Louis Anderson. His influence on this team is growing, and he has scored tonight and followed up the try he scored in that semi-final last year.
And that's the reason why they took that option, not to go for the 2 points. They had the momentum, they knew that they had the ability, and this was good play. Oh, nice step. He was always going to get over the line. Monaghan again. Good work by Richie Mathers. Linked in from full-back. Come the big second row at the right moment. They're dancing on the terraces. They'll be dancing in the living rooms. All over the streets, I would imagine. This is pressure.
Massive kick for Chris Bridge. He's missed it. So 2 points the difference. 20 points to 22.
I was just going to ask you, Eddie, if it kicks this, can we play extra time? I don't want to go home. This game can't end till we have a winner. But that 2 point miss there now with, what, just over 5 minutes to go. Can't imagine that they'll get a penalty that will kick it. It's highly unlikely it will end up with a 22 draw.
Good work by Richard Silver with the referee. They were messing around, Wigan, and he's called time off. Now he's put it back on.
Big win for Saints in Perpignan. Here, 5 minutes to decide who will go home. The winners. Morley is halted with a marauding run from behind his own sticks from the kick-off. This is Carvel. All the big guns are out there now.
Well, if I was Michael Maguire, I'd be down on the sideline. I wouldn't be up in the stands. I'd want to be out there getting the message. Keep defence, composure, discipline. Don't give away a penalty. Don't allow Warrington to get anywhere near.
That last try came from a 40-20 kick. Will Monaghan go again?
He's thinking about it. And Monaghan. An important interception by Carmont.
That was good pressure, wasn't it? Because he was going to go for it, Michael Monaghan, right from dummy half the kick. He applied the pressure, he had to go through. But the intercept.
Richards.
This is up the jumper time here.
Roberts. I don't think they can, these two. I don't think that's in the script, Steve-O. Really don't. Deacon. And Coley. And Coley again. And Roberts again. Last tackle. Deacon. Tompkins. Slides the kick in. Poor. Bridge. Steps out of one challenge. Steps out of two challenges. Down he goes under pressure from Carmont. Mathers. Atkins. He goes down. Second tackle. Mathers again. Joel Tompkins and Fielden with the tackling.
The penalties have dried up now, haven't they? Very reluctant to blow the whistle at this stage in the game.
Solomona trapped on the halfway line.
You're right, Phil, because there's not only pressure on the players out there, there's also the man with the whistle. Oh, he nearly knocked on there.
Last one, that is for Warrington.
Give him plenty of height. Oh, they've gone for position.
They're hunting the mistake here. They're hunting a mistake.
I don't think that's a bad call at all. Mickey Hyam's just put the ball in the pockets there. He lets them get the scrum and it lets them attack while they're in defence. Look at this. Options either side, inside and outside. Mickey Hyam picks it up and just bangs it in the pocket, like I said.
He's not happy, Tony Smith, and I agree with him, because I thought maybe put a bit of... Get the ball high, anything, it could have happened and gone anywhere.
3 minutes is a long time. That's 3 lots of possession.
Clock is stopped while this scrum is sorted out, and while Solomona sorts himself out, and Bridge suddenly has developed an injury. Is that cramp, I wonder? You wouldn't doubt it might be.
Or did someone stamp on his toes?
One of the two. But with the way this game has been played, the pace at which this game has been played, you would say possibly it's cramp. Now Richards.
Warrington will hunt for the mistake now. They need this ball back.
Well, this is where the surest of the forwards will say it's mine. Not interested in doing anything fancy.
Richards' penalty goal in the 66th minute is what separates these two sides at the moment.
And you know, you've got to look at the fact that the likes of Sam Tompkins, because he had that high-pressure experience at international level last season, it gives him an opportunity to be able to control his nerves out there.
They'll have to control him again here. He was under pressure, and he has put the ball out on the full. It was wonderful pressure applied by Ben Westwood.
I put the mocker on him.
Chris Bridge is on his way off, lads. Struggling with that leg injury.
2 minutes to go, 2 points the difference. Monaghan, Solomona, and here is Anderson.
There are some tired bodies out there. They really are tired.
Ball's lost.
He's given a penalty. Oh, Monaghan's going for it. They're not bothered about the draw.
Well, they're not interested in 1 point. They're going for broke.
Against Warrington here. I'm going to put my neck on the block. I think Warrington will get over in this set of 6.
Well, if they do, it's probably the match. Monaghan goes down, tackle number 2. That purple post in the corner is the Warrington try. It's Solomona!
Has he lost it?
Solomona!
It's come clean. It's come away. Has he got it down first? This will be his second try of the game.
He's celebrating. They're celebrating.
As I said in the first half, his signature play. Does he get the ball there? Or does Amos Roberts do enough? We'll have a look on this angle. Oh, he's dropped it.
He's dropped it. He's lost possession. He has no control. What an end to this game.
What an outstanding game of rugby league.
He has lost it a millimetre away from the whitewash. What an effort from both defence. And Solomona tried everything. It can be a cruel game.
Let's credit Wigan.
I think this is going to be turned down, sadly.
Let's credit the defensive effort from Wigan. There's 2 players. Solomona is the best in the business at that move. He's too big and too strong to stop, but they just managed to dislodge the ball.
Well,
what is the decision?
Phil Bentham has got to give us the decision. I think we've all realised it is no try, and it is no try, and it's the turnover right on the Wigan try line.
Look at
Sam
that.
Tompkins was on his knees.
Look at that. Sam Tompkins, don't forget, he kicked that ball out on the full. He'd have blamed himself if Solomona had got off then. Just over a minute of this game.
I tell you what, we have thought about this game for...
Shot! Holy moly!
Harrison
He's got Harrison Hansen there as Morley.
We have thought and looked forward to this game.
Whoa, look at that! That's what I'm talking about. That's just great work, Adrian Morley. Hunting for the mistake.
And how about Harrison Hansen? Although he was almost knocked out, he held on to the ball. Bravery. Tony Smith is on his way down.
They've got to try for an intercept. Anything.
They've got to get the ball back. They're going to get another 6 plays here.
And the kick to open space.
Here we go.
30 seconds remaining for Warrington. Mathers has it. The chasers arrive, but Mathers goes past them. He gives it to Riley. Well, Warrington have just got to throw caution to the wind here. Hit and hope. King still. Last tackle of the match coming up here.
It's going up. It's got to go.
Up it goes. Richards has got the ball and Wigan win the match. Wigan supporters celebrate. The hoodoo is ended. What a game. What an advert for the Engage Super League.
You're spot on, Eddie, and I must congratulate all those players that have been on display tonight. Take a bow. It has been superb.
Bill Arthur's got Andy Coley with him. He's not the man of the match, Amos Roberts is, but I think the champagne will go to Andy anyway.
Andy was one of the captains tonight. What a night to be captain of the side.
Fantastic. The crowd here tonight is unbelievable. The reverberation in this stadium, you know, is fantastic tonight. And to lead out against my own team, it's our own town team, and get the win. Phenomenal. Brilliant.
To get the win from 16-4 down as well. I mean, they were really on top.
Yeah, the first half, we wasn't the team that we trained to be, and know we are. We talked about it at half-time. We came out second half, I thought it was phenomenal.
And yes, nerve-wracking ending.
Yeah, it's always got to keep the crowd interested, don't you? Good for the TV ratings.
Certainly was, Andy. Well done.
Thank you very much, cheers. Just one thing, just I'd say, thanks Dave, I'll see you next week for the money.
Well, a delighted Andy Coley, the captain tonight of the Wigan Warriors. It is, by the way, Wigan's best start to a season since 2001 under Frank Endicott. And Michael Maguire, Phil, I don't know what he's done, I don't know what he's put in the tea, but whatever it is, it's working.
But whatever they said at half-time must have been pretty amazing, because they came from behind here with the odds stacked against them, and that has to do so much now for their confidence and belief of the side. OK, they haven't been to a grand final for quite some time, and they haven't lifted one for that long that some of the supporters weren't even there at the time. But all of a sudden now, these players, I'm sure, have a confidence and belief. And if there's a game of rugby of either code played in the British Isles this year with a better atmosphere than what we've had here tonight, I want to be at it. This was a must-be-at event. It was absolutely a classic.
Well said, Phil. You're here to that, and listen to the Wigan fans. They are ecstatic. But as I mentioned before, these two sides have thrown down the gauntlet. Leeds have won the trophy 3 years on the trot. I can assure you, any Rhino listening in, these two sides are going to give you a big shake this year.
They are fantastic, fantastic.